Is it not worth it going Jund? I don't think so, no. Like, having a, like, this mana base is a lot better than Jund's mana base, and it's like, what green cards are even really worth playing? Tarmogoyf? Maybe Tarmogoyf would be better than Voidwalker. I don't feel like it's worth splashing just for that card. Because the thing, hold on. Because one really nice thing about Voidwalker, and one thing I think is really undervalued is if you main deck 4 Voidwalkers, you don't need to play any Graveyard Hate in your sideboard. That is like a really nice thing, that you just don't have to play any Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. So we're playing the Mirror. So my Darcy's better than theirs because I have a Voidwalker in play, so I'm not going to attack. Yeah, you don't need to play any Graveyard Hate in your sideboard, which opens up a lot of sideboard slots for you. And so if you were to like splash Bob, that would be not the case. Or splash Goyf, sorry. You trade one of your losses on a 4-1 leagues for when you actually have trophied 8 of your last 9. Yeah, that's true. Everyone's playing Bob. Betrayal, they said they were a fan of the stream. Just kidding, just kidding. Well, with the curve of their deck, I don't think they're super likely to die to Bob, but it's not like we really have any other plays here than this. Get the thumbs up. I feel like redeeming this because I love watching content. Can I get a thumbs up? Yes, you can. Alright, Inquisition takes Lurrus. Anything I recommend for the Mirror as far as sideboard it keeps? One thing I recommend is choosing to be on the draw. There's just so many 1-mana cards being exchanged. I think being on the draw is good. I do think that you could play like Soul Guide Lantern to help the Mirror, but I don't know. I kind of also feel like the Mirror match is just like really draw dependent, and they Surveil Kroxa into the yard, which gets exiled. What do I have access to? Nothing too crazy. Probably just attacking. Big draw step. Position. Probably don't have a card here, but I think we're supposed to cast it for Delirium. Yeah. Still a card type off. So if I Voidwalker Unholy Heat to kill Bob, I do have a chance to get Delirium. I think I'm just gonna sit with the team here. They have Bob in play, their life total's kind of low. If they break on a removal spell for Voidwalker, they're just dying probably. I'm pretty happy with this trade too. They still have Lurrus, but they have no cards in their yard. They reveal Unholy Heat, so that's really bad for us. Is the weakest card Tourach? I don't think so. I think Tourach is really good. I don't know that there is any like standout weakest card, but I've been really impressed with Tourach at the deck, and I know a lot of people are cutting it. I just don't agree with cutting it. I like Tourach a lot. It's my best guess on hours I've spent on MTGO. I don't want to think about it. Reveal Voidwalker to Bob. Got some outs here. If we can kill Lurrus, then like they might die to Bob before they kill us, or we can just draw Bolt and maybe they die to Bob. So if we draw, well, let's just see what we draw before we do anything. Another land. I'm gonna concede. Tourach has been really good for me. I know that a lot of people are cutting it, and I disagree with the decision to cut it. The card has been really good in my opinion. This has been my sideboard plan. Cut the Thoughtseizes for Unearth Unholy Heat explosives and choose to be on the draw. Do you think the Jeskai version of this deck is still playable? Yeah, I do. I think it's playable. I think this is just a bit better at the moment. The Jeskai version is like way better against decks like Enchantress. I see the Red Blacklist with Monkey and Mox. Yeah, I think that version is bad. My opponents have generally been empty-handed at the time to kick Tourach. Well, then you're winning those games usually anyways. And that's also like, you know, I've played over 100 matches with this deck, and Tourach very often gets to be a good 4-mana creature. Sometimes you cast it on 2 mana. It's flexible. You board it out in some matchups, but I think the card has been really good for me. If you disagree, it's okay. I'm not upset, but this is what I believe. I believe that Tourach is good, and you should play it in your deck. Do you ever feel the need for Prismatic Ending the Splash? Not yet, but that might end up being the case at some point. Tourach has just it's been really good for me. Speak of the Tourach. Yeah, just a good 4-mana creature you get to play in your Lurrus deck. Like, there's nothing else like it, you know? You don't get a good 4-mana creature in your Lurrus deck without Tourach. So you're gonna discard Kroxa, right? I think that's fine. I'm not sure. Yeah, Kroxa too, but Kroxa is like a little bit less of a 4-mana creature, kind of. Maybe kind of not. Do I put Lurrus in my hand here? I kind of want to save that for later. Yeah, let's dash this, I think. Could just cast it. Yeah, my opponent molded the play, and just like we're like ahead 2 cards now. 3 cards. I think I like fetching now because we just already have a good card for them to take with a discard spell. 2 good cards actually. What I say the bad matchups? Worst matchups Enchantress. That's what we lost to today. That matchup's really hard. Opponent puts Lurrus in their hand, they just lose. I guess they can't escape Kroxa the following turn. So when they escape Kroxa, I think I'm discarding Inquisition. It's kind of close. Inquisition is good against their Lurrus. Any thoughts on not cracking the Bauble? It gives the opponent Delirium. Oh, it's their Bauble. Right. Yeah. Oh, they did just let Monkey live. That's weird. Yeah, that's really weird. We don't have Delirium. It'd be insane if we did. Am I gonna block Kroxa on Kroxa? We're pretty ahead on resources here. They're like way closer to escaping again. Going into Mardu, any main deck white cards besides Prismatic? I don't know that I would main deck Prismatic Ending. I might, but I don't know that I definitely would. I just don't know that I definitely would. Because like Unholy Heat is very, very strong, and main decking that card like that does make your main decking Prismatic Ending makes your mana worse, but if it's just sideboard, then you don't need to worry about getting white. The white splash is not that hard to facilitate, but it's certainly not free. Okay, so now we can escape. We can unearth Kroxa to get their Lurrus out of their hand and put our Lurrus into our hand. And hold the Cairns to discard. They draw a fetch land, they get to escape Kroxa though. It's kind of a problem. Or Bauble. Good for us. A pretty good burn plan here. I think they're dead, right? If they escape Kroxa next turn, we bolt them, escape Kroxa, or cast Kroxa with Lurrus, just attack. Why did they cast Kroxa there? They weren't dead on board, right? Weird. So I told my opponent does not of the, or it seemed like they weren't on board with the on the draw plan. We'll see if that game convinced them that it's better to be on the draw. They might just not think about it and choose to play. It looks like they are thinking about it. They chose to play first, so opponent has a philosophical difference, but I am happy to be put on the draw here. I think it is good to be on the draw in this matchup. How do I feel about this hand? It's very close. It's hard to mulligan in this matchup. This hand is pretty good if it draws one land. My opponent kept 7. I think I'm going to go to 6. I keep this. I think that hand's close, but I agree that it's a mull. Mulling on the play, like our opponent mulled on the play that game. Whenever I've mulled on the play at the mirror, I just feel like it's so difficult to come back. So difficult to come back after a mull on the play. No 1-mana removal spell is so good for us too. They didn't get a tapped Blood Crypt either. I don't know what that means. Could maybe not have bolted that. I don't know. I'll bolt them. But also on the castle version instead of the Kamigawa land version. Darcy, 3 card types. Kroxa, 4 card types. Oh wait, so could be sorry, they don't. Okay. So I'm gonna not make the mistake I keep making, where I let them discard and get Delirium for Darcy. I've made that mistake like 1,000 times. I think I'll just cast Unholy Heat here. We could have also shocked Darcy, returned Ragavan. They can escape Kroxa next turn, actually. They have a fetch land. I guess I'm gonna put Lurrus in my hand. Maybe I was supposed to hold the Unholy Heat to try to get Kroxa. They don't have a fetch land. I feel like we're in good shape. I guess they could also have Bauble. Infinite monkeys, huh? They're probably gonna kill this. We get to go Lurrus, get back monkey, right? But now they get to escape Kroxa if they want to. We can maybe maneuver around the card, but the card's obviously one of the best in the matchup. They return Bob, kill Lurrus. Any consideration to play some? I had push in the deck for a little bit, but it was worse for me than Unholy Heat, so I cut it. Weird. They block Bob here. I'm like, I just get to go unearth Lurrus, get back Bob, get back Ragavan, eat the Voidwalker. Pretty good. Could bolt them. Kind of like bolting them. Alacast, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm not sure. It's kind of risky. I guess Bob just doesn't deal that much damage, huh? And then we go draw step, kill Voidwalker, make them discard. No, we're not unearthing this turn, I think. We have Delirium on the Unholy Heat too this way after we unearth the Lurrus next turn. So this way, if when they go Escape Kroxa, assuming that's their line this turn, we discard Ragavan. Then we go Unearth Lurrus, which turns on Delirium for Unholy Heat, Unholy Heat Kroxa. Get in with Ragavan. Now they can use Voidwalker. There's nothing. We don't have anything exiled with Voidwalker. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that was their bolt. That was their bolt, not our bolt. Have I reviewed Gelatinous Ooze? I don't think I saw that one. Get a link, maybe. Their bolt should be. Just went to their graveyard, right? Oh wait, what? There's a bolt with a void counter. I don't know where that came from. Still don't have anything to cast off this Lurrus. Gelatinous Cube? I don't know. Better to cast this Ragavan in case they dash a Ragavan, right? One card short of escaping Kroxa. A castle instead of Lurrus in hand. Like Lurrus, I don't know. I guess they're just dead on. Yeah, they're just dead on board to this. This was wrong, right? Well, they're also they can draw bolt off baubles with the Bauble. They said GG, so I think they realized they could draw. Yeah. Combo. Do we keep this against Obosh, the Prey Piercer? I think not against Obosh. It's such a card intensive combo, right? Like you're spending, 3 of your cards to get 3 of your opponent's cards, and you get a 3/2. So you're putting both players in top deck mode, and because your deck is full of Malakir Rebirths and Undying Evils and Thoughtseizes, your deck is not very good in top deck mode. Your deck is not very good at top decking. Should probably Inquisition here. A lightning bolt on top. That stinks to have to take this. The card's not that good against us, but it would get us here. Thoughtseize the Glorybringer. Their hand is currently 2 lightning bolts and a Glorybringer, right? And then they're drawing Verdant Catacombs. This is my new Bantblade brew. Why did I not play Queller anymore? Queller kind of always sucks. Queller's just, Queller's okay. Queller's not that bad, but it really has never been like the most powerful card you can put in your deck. The reason it's there is you need like a density of interaction and blue cards for Force of Negation. You just don't have enough blue cards if you don't play Queller in those decks. Right, we need to Thoughtseize the Glorybringer. Yeah, you just don't have enough blue cards for Force or interactive pieces if you don't play Queller. But now we're playing Sanctum Prelate, which kind of fills that role pretty well. And then also, of course, now Constable is also like some good piece of interaction for like the combo big mana decks that Spell Queller was like your plan against before. All right, Obosh. Obosh probably kills us. We definitely needed to draw a lands game, huh? Yeah, but Queller just not that good, unfortunately. I hope my opponent shuffles because we know the top card, and then they don't get to cast Obosh here. Wasn't able to see Constable play. How was it? Constable's a really polarizing card where it's like incredible against decks without, a lot of interaction, and it's really bad against other decks. But because your deck is like not fast enough to beat decks with a lot of interaction, or sorry, your deck is not fast enough to like put a clock on the uninteractive decks, you need to main deck a card like Constable. You need to have Force of Negation or Constable or Spell Queller, and Prelate. You need to have like 7 or 8 of these cards, so that's why you see me playing them here. We know our opponent has 2 bolts. This has been brutal. It's B9, 10 months, appreciate ya. Welcome back, buddy. What's in his Bolt, Obosh, 2 mystery cards, which I guess are just 5 drops. We played 3 baubles this game. We're on the draw, right? We're on the draw. We've had 8 looks at a land and missed. Do you think Spellcaller might just be a better option than Constable? I know. I don't know. Maybe, right? Maybe. I'm not really that high on Spellcaller. Constable is also like, if you're trying to play like a card that beats the uninteractive decks, Constable is the best one. Constable crushes decks like Titan, Tron, combo decks. It crushes them. Spellqueller isn't even really that good in those matchups. So that's kind of that's why I like it so much. It really just crushes those matchups. Cosmona's not playable. I've tried a lot of Cosma, and that card sucks. Card's really bad. Is Cephalid good without Hierarch? Not really. Constable's really good with Maul of the Skyclaves too. Put a Maul of the Skyclaves on Cephalid Constable. Good night. I have 5-0 to League with Cosmona. That card is not good at all. And also, like, you don't want to switch. You need like 7 cards that can line up well against uninteractive decks in a deck like Bant Stoneblade. I can't stress this enough, because as a Bant Stoneblade deck, your clock is not fast enough to kill Titan before they can combo off, to kill Tron before they assemble their mana, to kill combo decks. So you need like like a minimum 7 Force of Negation, Spellqueller, Sanctum Prelate, Cephalid Constable, these kind of interactive cards, because you do not have a fast enough clock to race. Am I sure because I trophied your first league with Cosmona? I think I did, yeah. And I am sure. I played that deck on stream and it was abysmal, but 5-0ing one league does not make a deck any good, I think. I kind of want to lead on Inquisition here. Save the Bauble for next turn. Well, sure, I'm glad I did that. I think. Oh, sorry. Didn't see the Kappa. Not lucky enough for our opponent to have drawn Arbor Elf. Endurance is very good against Channeler. Maybe I should have taken Endurance. They're drawing a Fury. It's not a very good draw. They already have one. I don't know, Veil just sucks to play against. Get that card out of the format. Oh, they drew something. Well, can't quite turn on Delirium here. Delirium's on now. Voidwalker seems okay. Should I Lurrus though? Lurrus seems pretty good. My opponent's kind of stumbling on mana and stuff. Yeah, Archon of the Mary is also like a decent option. Just, not good against everything, but most things aren't good against everything. I guess I should go for the higher upside play of Voidwalker into Thoughtseize. This is really bad if my opponent has drawn another burn spell, but it's like if I can like discard a Fury and have access to Fury off of Voidwalker, it's really nice. Why do you exist, Veil of Summer? Why? Why? I don't know. It's maybe hard to like. They left in Blood Moon. I mean, we didn't have the option to fetch a Black Source. I'm not that worried about this. We have Ragavan in our deck. We've got a couple of swamps. We have a lot of red cards. Okay, I'm more worried about it now. I don't know. Ragavans are out to this. What did they exile? They pitch another Fury, so they hand a Spyro, Endurance, Kitchen Finks. They can't cast Endurance or Kitchen Finks, but I guess they do get to Spyro them away. Alright, Darcy is here to save us. It exists because Thoughtseize is an unfair card, pretending as a fair one. I wonder what it's like to have never played against a combo deck before, or a Tron deck before, or a Titan deck before, and think that Thoughtseize isn't like very necessary to keeping a format like functioning. I wonder what that's like to just have never played against a deck that needs to be interacted with. The modern format would be a disaster without cards like Force of Will, Counterspell, Force of Negation. A disaster. Unplayable. Format unplayable without cards like this. Let's go Glorybringer, Kitchen Finks. Part of the unfun modern is Force of Negation. I don't know. You guys, Force of there. I don't know. I mean, I know Simian Spirit Guide is banned now, but Force of Negation saved the format from like 4 different decks that could kill on turn 1. At one point, there were 4 different decks that could kill on turn 1. There was Neobrand, Belcher, Oops All Spells, and oh shit, what's the other one? Oh, the Tibble's Trickery deck. At one point, all 4 of those decks coexisted at the exact same time, and Force of Negation was literally carrying the format, you know? Literally carrying the format from just being solitaire. You know, it also helped make blue insane. I made blue a playable deck. Blue control decks were like unplayable in modern for like 3-4 years after Splinter Twin was banned, before Force of Negation. Blue decks were really, really bad until Force of Negation, because they can't compete with like the super, you know, quick starts that so many modern decks got to play. Force of Negation is a great safety valve, you know? Force doesn't stop Oops. You could Force of Negation some of their cards, but you're right, it wasn't that good against Oops. But whatever, just please don't just debate Lord. How could you have betrayed me like this, Clothis? Is it worth to cast a spell on keep? I don't really want to kill a Seasoned Pyromancer with Unholy Heat. I don't know. My opponent's attacking because they're gonna flash an Endurance. I guess that's fine. We'll block this, and then they flash an Endurance, will Unholy Heat the Spyro now. Or after the trigger resolves. Oh, funny, Clothis is briefly a creature. Yeah, imagine Legacy without Force of Will. I don't know. Alright, so instant land, okay. Ragavan, off the top. Let's go, dude. Hell yeah. Into Blood Moon. I think we cast Blood Moon to get the Surveils. Graveyard. So we still need Artifact or Sorcery. Need a land. Interesting. Another Spyro. So I don't think my Ragavan's getting through. If we draw Lightning Bolt, or yeah, it has to be Bolt, and then we can Surveil into a card type, we could win. How many bolts do we have left? 4. Alright. Don't hate those odds, huh? 4 out of 48. That's a good one too. We'll definitely take that. Take that one. Yeah, that's the second Bauble is a crazy hit because that's just gonna keep Delirium going. Guess they can hit my cliffs though. Then they're not getting any life. They have a lightning bolt on top. We can just draw a bolt here and win, by the way. I'm kind of shocked they left in multiple Blood Moons. Maybe the first one on the play is fine. They're on the draw, you know. Yeah, so they have to go over my after my cliffs, right? Maybe I was supposed to leave Bauble on top. They go after Bauble, so now we know that they have bolts, but they must have 2 bolts, right? What the hell? I guess opponents punt sometimes, but we were drawing bolts anyways. But they just like weren't dead there if they exiled the land, and now they're. If Bauble's banned, how many of your decks drop Lurrus? A lot of them. Like this deck might want Liliana over Lurrus if Bauble's banned. You can still play. Lurrus is still a good card in the deck though. Misclick, maybe, yeah, maybe. Probably a good read. Alright, let's run it back. Gonna prioritize being able to fetch a swamp, I guess, but I'm not that scared of Blood Moon. If Lurrus is banned, how many decks drop Bauble? I mean, some of them do. Like the Valky Miracles deck would not play Bauble, but this deck would still play Bauble for sure. E for 1 is D's for the ramp. I mean, it doesn't come down till turn 3 though. You know, they get to ramp if that's your plan. It's also like, if you're gonna bring in EE, what would you cut to make room for the EE? What's our record today? 10-1. 10-1 on the day so far. Yeah, Burn should keep Lurrus. Yeah, Burn like definitely should still play Lurrus if Bauble gets banned. And they won't. And then they'll come in and say that no, they don't actually need Lurrus because I always kill my opponent and curve out well, and I don't need any flood insurance. I never have late games with Burn ever. Why would Bauble eat the ban? It's one of the best cards in the format. It's just getting better. It is an enabler for like a lot of the other best cards in the format, like Dragon Rage's Channeler and Lurrus, and it's only going to get better as time goes on. It is one of the best cards in the format. I guess you can crack explosives on turn 2. It might be too slow though. There's also not going to play a second ramp spell into it on turn 2. Is Tarmogoyf a non-factor in Modern? Not a non-factor, it's just not like the best card in the format anymore. It's not like I'm gonna like I'm gonna really like try to play a Tarmogoyf deck. That's not really a thing anymore, but some decks play Tarmogoyf still. Bauble banned, does this deck go away? No, I don't think so. Maybe, probably not. Darcy is still good without Bauble. It's worse though. It's like no longer maybe like the best card in the format. It's maybe just like a great 1-drop. Alright, I like this hand has 2 swamps because our opponent left in Blood Moon. I guess it doesn't have 2 swamps if they have Sprawl into Blood Moon. I guess we could take Blood Moon with an Inquisition. No, I'm sick to my stomach. We have to cast the Inquisition, right? Maybe just wait till turn 3 actually. All those Delirium decks, is Tarmogoyf better? It's better, yeah. Tarmogoyf is a playable Modern card, but it is not like the best card in Modern. Yeah, let's just not cast it. We saw 2 Veils last game. And like they probably have to cast a card on turn 3, right? Isn't Bauble just fine though? This deck diversity isn't taking a hit. But I mean, Bauble is probably one of, it's a top 5 Modern card. It's just gonna get better, and this is just the truth, you know. It's just. I'm just telling you how it is. Bauble is one of the best cards in Modern. It's not going to get any worse. It's only going to get better. Reed, thanks for the raid, dude. Hope you're having a good day today. I don't know if you've seen this Rakdos deck, Reed, but it's probably up your alley. I've trophied 7 out of my last 9 leagues with it. It's been crazy. Yeah, but for those of you coming from Reed's stream who haven't seen it, you guys probably also like the deck, knowing Reed the Rock Master. This is it. Trophied 7 out of my last 9 leagues, which is absurd. Gonna be writing a deck guide for this for CFB Pro as well, and already made a video for it. Yeah, 7 out of 9 trophies it's unreal. It's crazy. The other two leagues read were 4-1s. It's just like, obviously I've been running very well. I've been getting very lucky. This deck is not that good. It's not like we're not always gonna run this well, but it's been really strong so far. Thanks for all the follows here, but yeah, we trophied earlier today, then we 4-1 the last league. So I mean, my opponent showed us multiple Veil of Summers last game. They're also a we're playing against Ponza. So I think I'm gonna try to play around Blood Moon, which they left in Blood Moon against us. We do have a decent number of double black spells, and so what I'm gonna try to do is wait for them to cast a 3-drop on their turn, which their deck, being an Obosh deck, is very likely to do. Then we can go Channeler, Inquisition, Thoughtseize to try to get around a suspected Veil of Summer. Yeah, the Kamigawa lands have been pretty good. They've actually we're playing 1 red and 1 black one, and they've been winning us games. Both of them have been relevant. Oh no, Klothys is betraying us again. I guess I should not have fetched now. I should have waited to see what I draw, but just excited to get to go Darcy, Inquisition, Thoughtseize. They didn't have the Veil of Summer, and I feel a bit silly. I'm gonna take Endurance for sure, I think. Endurance and Spyro, maybe? We still don't have Delirium if we graveyard this, but it's an answer to Bone Crusher. I think I can keep that on top. Yeah, I think Channeler is the best card from MH2 in Modern. This card has been really impressive. Take Endurance and Giants. Maybe, I don't know, leaving them with Spyro seems kind of scary to me. You could be right. Yeah, I want to save Kroxa until I can go Kroxa plus Escape Kroxa in the same turn against this Klothys. Unless I need to like maybe snipe the Lightning Bolt from their hand to get Lurrus through, because Lurrus is our way to like beat the constant drain from Klothys. Put Obosh in their hand, hold up Lightning Bolts. I guess I can, well, okay, let's Thoughtseize. Then maybe this lets us, oh, they have Bone Crusher. Alright, I think I need to go take Lightning Bolts. If I cast Lurrus, they Stomp Lurrus. They Stomp Lurrus, cast Bone Crusher, and then we can get back Lurrus with Kolaghan's command in response to the Kroxa trigger. Maybe I'll just make them discard with Kolaghan's command instead. Discard Obosh. Fearing Lurrus. Now if we draw a land, we get to go Kroxa, escape Kroxa, block their Bone Crusher, have a chance. Have a chance. It's been a hard game. Been a really hard game. We need to fade some top deck burn. Like, are they gonna stop me in response? It's also kind of a hard question. They'll do that. They'll do it after I cast escape Lurrus or Kroxa again. Oh wait, hold on. If I do this, they stop me down to 4. They drain me down to 2. Oh no, we just lose to Kroxa. Or sorry, Klothys. Yeah, we just lose. I don't know that we could have maneuvered differently. This was a really difficult game. Because okay, yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it was really reasonable to play around Veil, but you're right. That's definitely what we do is cast the discard spells and not play around the Veil. Well, they showed us multiple Veils and they didn't have a turn 1 mana accelerant, so what with the GG. Good match. That might not be a good matchup. I haven't played that one very much. I know that Enchantress feels to be our worst matchup, but we seem to be good against a lot of the top decks. And it's also true that because you're an Inquisition Thoughtseize deck, you always have access to those cards against discard. I think we keep this on the draw. Like you always have access to answers for hate cards anyways. So I'm just not sure that it is where you want to be. Splashing white for Prismatic Ending, but it definitely feels like an option when you feel like you have a really good understanding of the metagame. Splashing green for Red and 6. I don't know that I would play Red and 6. I feel like I would be playing probably Tarmogoyf in that 2-drop slot. Red and 6 is a lot worse in these decks when you don't have Liliana of the Veil to discard the lands you pick up with Ren. Not that Red and 6 is a bad card in these decks. It's just not as good. Yeah, if there's like a ton of Rusted Pieces and Sanctifiers, you can play Prismatic Ending. But it's also true, like, Prismatic Ending is not a better answer for those cards than Thoughtseize or Inquisition. I know that, you can't Thoughtseize the top of their deck, right? But, let me Bauble myself. They just drew a Thoughtseize. We have a land on top. I think I'm just going to try to draw the land. Inquisition the Cryptic, I think. I don't think I care that much about the Prismatic Ending at the moment. Yeah, it's like Rusted Piece is still gonna come down and like shrink your Darcy's and make your Kroxas worse and your Lurrus worse. And then you have to like spend 2 mana at sorcery speed on your turn to get rid of it, which is not, the best answer for a card like this. And so I'm just not sure that this is the best strat. Bye, sweetheart. I love you. Have a good day. Did they miss their land drop? Yeah, they just didn't play their land. But White Leyline? I would not play the White Leyline to lose Lurrus. It feels it's like a bad plan to me. I guess I'll Voidwalker. I'm pretty happy, I think, if they tap out next turn to Prismatic Ending, we draw a land to Tourach and just kind of win the game. Not gonna bolt my Voidwalker to put into the graveyard too. Might bolt them end of turn. Yeah, Lingering Souls is maybe also like the Mirror Breaker. There are good white cards to splash for. I think you could absolutely splash for white. You could also play Vindicate in your main deck as potentially something that's good for metagames. And that's definitely the nice thing, right, about picking up a deck like this one, is that there is so much flexibility with your deck selection and construction and all of that stuff. So these are all good ideas to keep in mind for specific metagames, and we don't necessarily need to. We've been winning so much with this deck, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel right now. But I do think that as time goes on, evaluating splashing white, once we see a big metagame shift, that's really what I'm more so looking to do it, is once, if there's a metagame shift, because I've just been like crushing with this version. I don't really feel like we need to reinvent it too much. Would I recommend if you splash white as far as lands? I'd probably play 1 Sacred Foundry, 1 Godless Shrine, no Triome. I think the Triome has like a really high cost in this deck. It's not that bad, but I do feel like the Triumph has a pretty high cost associated with it. So they plus and don't play around Unholy Heat. Let's see what we draw. Maybe, yeah, I like drawing this land. So we can kick Tourach, but then think that it's just better to deny their card off to Fairy, play Lurrus, Bauble. Is Kai's Guile totally unnecessary? You can play Kai's Guile is an option too. Kai's Guile I don't think is a card you just main deck or sideboard in every metagame. But maybe you like play Kai's Guile over Voidwalker as your graveyard hate. Sure, Arcanos Teferi pretty well though. Yeah, I'm just not that interested in letting them get to draw a card off Teferi. And this is also, you know, of course, assembling our own card advantage engine, which is great in matchups like this. They have Brainstone Mystery card. They can Prismatic Ending this. They have one. They can also do it at instant speed, I guess. There's just no reason not to main phase it. We got pretty lucky to draw Lurrus this game. I love that they're sacking Brainstone. This means we can Tourach for full value. So like, yeah, and then also like you lose the Kamigawa lands too. I think you end up not playing the Kamigawa lands if you splash white. And the Kamigawa lands have been very good. I really have liked them. They're not like, you know, a core part of the deck, and you know they're, you know, not that big of a deal, but I like having access to them. Your mana base is also a lot less painful, being red-black, and so that helps like red matchups as well. But white cards also help red matchups. Okay, they put Terminus not on top of their library, so I think they have another Terminus here, right? It seems like it's being passed over in Modern a lot. The card's very good. I mean, it doesn't just like go in, you know, every deck, but the card's very good, for sure. I've been pretty impressed by it. I definitely was a card. I think me and a lot of other people misevaluated just how good the 3-mana 3/4 flash reach is. Like that's a pretty good rate. I'm gonna play Darcy, and I'm just gonna do these now in case they surveil a Kroxa or any other creature into the graveyard. If I hit any creature, I can Jaw Step Kolaghan's command for a bit of value. I didn't. I think I'll just go ahead and Draw Step Kolaghan's command then. I mean, this card is so good. Like, imagine if my next 2 draw steps were these lands. Oh, nice Terminus opponent. Nice Terminus. Wait, where's my priority? Give me priority. Rakdos counterspell, huh? Easy top that. The 3rd Terminus too. Does it still have the text on it now? Yeah, Kolaghan's command 3 mana, mental misstep. Ugh, broken. Mental misstep would be so broken at 3 mana. Ooh, really good draw. Monkey, monkey, monkey. I've never drawn Lurrus with this deck. It's very the meme is evolving. Very lucky to draw Lurrus here is something I say all the time. Unironically, very lucky to draw Lurrus here. The meme has evolved. The meme has evolved. They Terminus Lurrus to the bottom of my library and I shuffled it back in is how I drew it. It's funny. I go -2 Unholy Heat for +1 Thoughtseize, +1 Unearth against control decks. Yeah, imagine this deck under the old companion rules. Would not exist for very long, probably. I enjoyed the old companion metagame, to be honest. I really never got tired of playing games in that format. It was like, it was really degenerate. I don't think anybody's denying that that was like a balanced format. But the games are really fun, and like there was some cool deck building, and we got to play that Miracles deck, which was really fun, and the games are really fun, that format, I feel. Like there are sometimes Moderns like a little bit broken, but the games are like really good, so just enjoy yourself. And then there's sometimes it's just like Hogak and it doesn't feel like you ever play a single match of Magic your entire tournament. Just like, well, I'm just mulliganing the Leyline again for like the 3rd time this tournament, and let's hope you don't have answers to Leyline. Oh, you do? Of course you do, because your deck is really good at beating Leyline, and Leyline's the only good card in the format against your deck. Alright, this was a game. Terrible metagame. Yeah, I like Zerda and Lutri a lot. Lutri is... I feel like you should still be able to play Lutri under the old companion rule. Because Lutri's a very good boy, and, you know. Why not, you know? What's the worst that could happen? I guess in Vintage, actually, Lutri was just like a reasonable card. Because everything's restricted anyways. Yeah, sea otters are just wet dogs, I agree. Yeah, Lutri is an otter and therefore should be exempt from the nerf. This is my case, Wizards. Will you please listen to me? I don't really want to commit 2 threats into a possible verdict. I'm just going to attack for 1, cast a Kroxa. How about just in Modern, right? Just in Modern, we as Modern players offer you this trade deal, Wizards. Just let us have Lutri be just the, you know, old companion rule. Mara, thank you for a Twitch Prime, appreciate ya. And maybe Karuga too, why not Karuga? Kind of scared of the Ooze guy, because like there's that new Ooze card that, you know, exiles non-Ooze creatures from dungeons, so maybe leave that one the same. Karuga, Lutri, I feel like those 2 could be fine. Maybe just those 2. Amori not good. I mean, I would advocate for Amori, but 1, Amori is an Ooze and not very cute at all, which is a big problem. And then Amori also, there's a new card that doesn't exile Oozes, so disaster if that card gets to run rampant. Merida, I thank you for your subscription. I can't remember. My train of thought is all over the place today. Maybe we should bolt in my upkeep. Spice Weasel has redeemed. Tell a bad beat story. Well, I feel like I tell this one all the time. People are probably sick of it, but I'll graveyard this. More cards for Kroxa. I feel like I tell this one all the time, but I'll tell it again. At the 25th anniversary PT that I was, you know, fortunate enough to attend, I was playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and I can't remember our record, but we were playing for top 8 of the event, although that didn't matter so much because top 4 was the ones that got to advance to the Sunday. But still, you know, it would be a great finish at the PT. And then it was also going to be another PT invite, and I would have been immediately silver if I win this match. And I'm playing against Merfolk, Ad Nauseam Tendrils and Legacy against Merfolk. Force of Negation is not a legal card yet. And my opponent draws 1 card for their turn, and they pass back. I'm dead on board next turn, but I can combo, right? And I beat Daze. I can pay for Daze with my combo, and they can't have Force of Will. Or if they have Force of Will, they can't pitch. They can't hard cast. And the only card I lost to in that spot was 1 copy of Vendilion Click, which they only played 1 copy. I got to see the deck list. And that was their draw step. That was their draw step. They were able to Vendilion Click my Infernal Tutor, and I lost. And now I'm a streamer. And now I'm a streamer. So maybe it didn't work out too bad in the end. And now I'm a streamer. I genuinely believe if I win that match, I probably never pick up streaming. Maybe I'll attack first. Yeah, so it's honestly great for me that the click was the top deck. Happy ending after all. Just took me a while to get there. This works in mysterious ways. I think I'm gonna kick Tourach here. Yeah, I still do the $5 deck tax. Yeah, streaming is second place there. Yeah, that story is very painful to me. And then it's also like, but then after that tournament, I still have a really good run. I have, I think, 13 pro points, and I have 9 months to get 2 pro points. And if I get them in like 6 months, if I get 2 pro points in 6 months, I have a very good chance of making. That's a PT invite. Is I become silver? That's a PT invite if I get the pro points in the 2 months, and then and the Leyline's like, how is the Leyline so good here? And then if I had a good run at that PT that I qualified for, theoretically, I'm gold, and all of a sudden, like, maybe can make a run at Pro Magic. And then, like, a couple months later, they just announced that they're doing away with the pro point system, like, right after I was in that position. And then it was just a really, really, really big heartbreak. It was really sad. Yeah, rest in peace, Pro Magic, for sure. I know I never really made it as a aspiring Pro Magic player, but I had like a lot of like, that wasn't the only time I like came very close to like having like good pro runs, but that was definitely the closest. That was close enough to taste it. Discard Temporal Mastery, Miracle, Temporal Mastery, alright. Yeah, I know I'm definitely the winner, but I also like really loved Pro Magic. The idea of it, and I hope that you know, whatever new system that exists at least lets us play high level Magic and get some of that feeling back. But Wizards is shattering my confidence every single day, so not super optimistic. All right, they're extra turn. Yeah, of course I remember that Esther is along for the whole ride. I mean, I also probably never start streaming if I didn't have Esther believing in me. I tell her that all the time. A card on the bottom with Opt. Yeah, without Esther's support, I also don't think Aspiring Spike exists. Alright, well, I'm gonna Voidwalker, huh? I guess I might want to bolt my own Voidwalker. I mean, Leyline's fine against us. We've got a lot of discard spells. Just kind of weird to have in control. Not too bad. Alright, do we kill our Voidwalker for Lurrus? I think so. Pretty far away from Delirium. I'll just Heat. No, Heat has like a big upside here. We can still answer like either Teferi or Jace with these two. And you know, with the Leyline, these aren't doing, the bolt's not doing much. Lucky to draw Lurrus, dying meme. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I would agree that I'm a professional Magic player because my profession is playing Magic, but also it's kind of like, you know, there's definitely a big asterisk on the kind of pro Magic player I am, you know? You know, they have Leyline, so kicking Tourach doesn't do anything. Yeah, professional MTGO user. When does Young Peasy get to come back to Modern? I don't know. Harmonic Prodigy is a buff for Young Pyromancer, and a buff. I think that you could maybe play a deck with Harmonic Prodigy, Young Pyromancer, Dragon Rage's Channeler. When I'm out of content, maybe we'll do that. When did we downgrade from MTGA user? When I didn't get a preview card for Horizons 2. The whole MTGA user thing was just a desperate ploy to get a preview card. Miracles with 1 Academy Ruins. Colorless lands and control decks are really rough right now because of Counterspell Charm. And like playing an Academy Ruins to get back, you know, Brainstone is kind of dizzyingly slow. Doesn't sound that good. Can you post the link in chat, Eric? I can't copy and paste from my view. Should we have kicked that Tourach? No, Leyline stops the kick Tourach. Can't minus on the Tourach pro white. Got a blue-red Phoenix. Okay, but with blood ghasts just chilling in the deck. Cool. So I will say that if you're splash, oh no, no, it's probably really good. It's probably really good. Probably really good, huh? I would play Expressive Iteration in this deck. I don't know that you necessarily need blood ghasts, but they maybe are fine. I feel like I don't have too many notes on the list other than like I would probably be playing no blood ghasts and at least the first two expressive iterations, but I'm not sure. I would want to play four. I'm just not sure how you would find the room. Not sure how you find the room. I can't fail to choose a card with Inquisition, so I'll just double bolts. Why aren't you bolting them, Spike? Why aren't you bolting your opponent there at 2 life? Shouldn't you kill taps so they can't flash a blocker? Are they not unsnappy? I don't think that they play Snapcaster, but maybe they do. Maybe you're right. Alright, Tourach too good, huh? 2-1 pro white. This deck is gross. The Planeswalker is pretty good, but that's like the only thing drawing you to Grixis control. I don't know. In order for Grixis control to be good, you need good Grixis cards. You know, Grixis Triumph maybe. Playing against Lurrus, we're on the play. We'll keep this. Do I lead on Thoughtseize? I think I'm gonna lead on Ragavan. Is persistent playable? Not persistent. Like the reanimation decks are like fringe playable. There just like is a problem with those decks that there's just a lot of graveyard hate at the moment. Ragavan's Natural Predator, Min-Mites, and then Min-Mites Natural Predator, Kolaghan's Command. Mox Saber deck over the Bauble? Nope. Don't do that. Really good for us that they drew that. Maybe leaving them with Sigarda's 8 is just so dangerous. I don't know. Sentinel's just like also very scary here. I guess I could just attack first, actually. Kind of surprised they tapped out of blocker here. So if we kill, yeah, we just kill their guys here. This turns off their drums, which means they might not be able to put Lurrus in their hand. Yeah. Sentinel is so good in their deck. Sentinel's just a good card in general. Just has so much synergy. Well, I guess I chose right, huh? How that works. I can't believe it. That's so crazy. I can't believe we hit Pithing Needle. That is just has to be best possible. Jeez. I don't have too many notes there. That was just very lucky. Drug being pro white's kind of relevant, right? We got the Voidwalkers in this matchup. I think 7 discard spells feels fine. We got 2 Kroxas. Seems good. Oof. Not a good Tourach matchup. I don't know. Tourach's pro white. Tourach like has protection from a huge amount of their deck. I think that Tourach's better than Kroxa. It's also, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that we need these Alpine Moons. Just kind of quickly doing that. Although I think that we're gonna sideboard a little bit differently. Maybe we'll go lighter on the discard spells. Well, thank goodness my opponent took so much time. Yeah, Alpine Moon definitely a must in this matchup. On the play Charleston 0, yeah, maybe. I mean, they only play like 7 0-drops. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, they also might side some out in the grindier matchups. Good point. You play your blue-white Chalice tonight. AO2 drop with yesterday. Any recommendations? I mean, I do think that deck is like better than an O2 drop. Have I stopped naming every deck MH2? No, I haven't. I don't know. I feel like this list was like a good start. I think I'd probably run it back for like the next league I played with the deck. Probably not great, but I feel like there's something here. I know that I think, you know, we 5-0 with like a Bant version that's playing Prelate over Chalice. That's probably a bit better. I guess the deck's like super different though, because we're not playing counter spells in the Bant deck. This one felt. This is what we 5-0'd with this. We only played one league with it, but we 5-0'd, and this list felt pretty cool. Where like Thalia doesn't like hurt Prismatic Ending very much, and you know, Prelate, neither of this Prelate, and this deck felt pretty good. We'll probably play another league of it soon. Maybe tomorrow. Sneep. Well, the idea behind only 3 Stoneforge Mystic is that like sort of Feast and Famine isn't that good if you're not playing other creatures, and that was just like trying to play more of the Planeswalker plan, right? So like when you have that in mind, I just need to kill this right now, right? So they can flash in, hammer, end of turn, and blow me out. So that's kind of like the level 1 thinking there. And then like level 2 is if you're playing 3 equipments, you probably don't want to be playing. Play Alpine Moon this? I think I'm gonna wait. If you're playing no Feast and Famine, I don't like 4 Stoneforge Mystic, 3 equipment, so I think you just play 2. Well, glad I held here. Alpine Moon is for Nexus and Urza Saga. Alpine Moon is incredible against Urza Saga, and I've been crushing the Saga decks with this red-black deck, by the way. I've just absolutely been crushing them. And then, like, extra named copies of Moon can name Ink Moth. Just 1 mana, kill your Urza Saga, kill every Urza Saga for the rest of the game. Was I supposed to kill that? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna hold up 2 removal spells here. So if a Saga has no counters on it, it dies. And I don't. Oh, they have Relic on Chopka, so I guess I'm not casting Kroxa. If a Saga ever has no counters on it, it dies, and Alpine Moon removes the counters. I don't really know why it removes the counters though. You actually need a PhD in Sagas to understand how this interaction works, and I don't have one of those. The Saga doesn't have chapters, it dies. If it doesn't have chapters, I see. I see. If we kill this, I feel like it's kind of a spew of Kolaghan's command to cast anything here. I'm just gonna pass. What? My opponent sacked Relic of Progenitus to draw a card? I didn't know that that was something a person could do. Okay, so why don't we do Unholy. Oh, they're gonna cast something here? They must have 2 hammers, right? Unholy Heat on this Pure Steel Paladin. And they're gonna go Colossus Hammer in response. Equip onto Paladin, and then we go, oh. They didn't do that. So we're kind of screwed if they have another hammer though. I feel like they would have, if they had another hammer, they would have cast it there. I guess not, yeah. Dreadhorde Arcanist is a very cool card that I think is not that good, unfortunately. Dr. Arson, 1 year. Thank you for your resubscription, buddy. It's a long time. Okay. Can chump block this next turn. Make them discard their last card, chump block this next turn, put Lurrus in our hand, and we get like a recursive chump blocker. What if we play the Spin Tutor Dreadhorde Arcanist and some 2-card combo that costs 4 mana? So what if we just play 12 cards differently and build a whole different deck? You can build a different deck, yes. And I encourage you to work on it. I'm not going to, I think. That just what you're proposing is just a completely other deck? Oh no. Right. That's bad. That's in their deck, huh? You definitely want Tourach. So that's kind of like your main way to beat. I mean, this is another way you can beat Sanctifier sometimes, is Tourach. Racing. Be on the play for game 3. You can send me a message if you want it to be on Twitter or Gmail, but you don't need to send any donation with it. Don't feel obligated. People gifted way too many subs today already. But you can DM me on Twitter or email. My email's on my Twitter too. I don't think I want Chalice against them. I mean, like, Chalice is like on 0. We have this in the sideboard for suspend decks. If we bring this in against here, like, we turn off their 0 drops, we also turn off our baubles. I just think that it's maybe good in the opening hand, but not against all of their draws. Oh, good hand. But any good adding Dark Confidant pricing Kroxa or Tourach? Some people think that Dark Confidant is better than Tourach. I disagree. I think the first 2 Tourachs are better than any number of Dark Confidants, but if you disagree or you feel like you want to cut Voidwalkers for Confidants or sideboard Voidwalkers, you can do that, but I'm not. I think that this is the best build. Have I come across Arc Champion or Sanctifier to put something like Marsh Casualties in the board? Not yet, I think. But, if this Rakdos deck really picks up, of course, that's something that could happen. Forged Tinder, very good against Ragavan. That was a good min-might hold, huh? Yikes. Sideboard cards, huh? Oh, yeah, they kept a 1-lander, though. Alright, I think I'm scared enough of Sanctifier that I'm going to cast this. Esper Sentinel, Pure Steel Paladin, Sigarda's Aid. Yeah, I've been crushing with this deck, and I know there's always going to be room for innovation with a deck like this, but we've been crushing. I don't really feel like we need to change that much. They're not going to Forge Tinder. Tourach is insane here. Golly. Are they going to sack Relic to maybe keep a Paladin? Like, I don't know if that's good. Yeah, Tourach just has been very consistently good for me. I know that people have different opinions, but I just like have yet to like really feel like Tourach's not like pulling its weight in the deck. I feel like casting Alpine Moon on Nexus is a good way to lose the game. Come back to Earth, gifting 2 subs. Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. Got a gifted sub from Comeback. What you think, yeah, I'll be streaming Time Sifter any day now. Inquisition for Lurrus. Persistent Petitioners, Time Sifter, any day now. Just wait a little bit. Wow, it's another Paladin. Another counter on Tourach, though. And I guess we'll get Lurrus in play. Which can actually attack through Forge Tender, too. Maybe you should have attacked with Ragavan. I don't know. Pretty free. Shouldn't they have sacked this with Inkmoth Nexus because they have Paladin in their hand? Or just cast Paladin held up this next turn? I feel like that wasn't that good. Oh boy. What are we gonna give Fear? Ragavan? Lurrus? Ragavan, I think. And I think I Alpine Moon Inkmoth, so they can't even block. So we just kill them next turn. Yeah, this card is like really continued to overperform the Kamigawa lands. I don't if you play red, you don't get to play them, which is not a big deal, but something. Is this the same deck you trophied 6 out of the last 7 leagues? We've changed one card recently, but it's trophy lasts now 7 out of 9 leagues. I guess it could be 7 out of 10 if you count this one. 4-1. The other 2 leagues were 4-1s as well, by the way. Which is nuts. Okay, this is a start, I guess. Is it? They get to draw a card off the hammer. But what is my opponent doing? They're just dead on board. They have Path as their one unknown card? Really? Really? That's what they're saying. I don't know if I believe that, though. Let's talk about Lurrus. I'm kind of fine trading Lurrus for Stoneforge, Forge Tender, or Paladin, and this is like pretty good if they have Path, I think. Oh wait, they're at 4. Sorry, I thought they were at 7 still. I thought they were at 7. Where did they? I don't know. Okay, they did have Path. They're just dead though. Yeah, I know Path doesn't kill Tourach. I don't know why I thought their life total was higher than it was. They get Forged into Ragavan. I missed that. No, Tourach is pro white. We don't need to fear it. So like right now that's my tech, and then once people start figuring that out, I'm not sure. I think Soul Guide Lantern's fine. I don't really know like that it breaks the mirror though, and it's also like you already have so much graveyard hate. I feel like it hurts your sideboard to have lanterns in your sideboard as well. I think it's just I would probably play like a second Unearth if I was really looking for I'll lead on Darcy. I think I'd play a second Unearth if I was really looking to play like another sideboard card for the mirror. That's probably the best card in the mirror. We did lose to Enchantress today, and then our other loss was to Ponza today. Didn't I have an O2 drop? No, I have not O2 drop with this deck. There was a controversial 0-1 drop that happened after we lost game 1 against Mono Green Tron, and then Magic Online crashed and died and restarted the game, and we were like ahead game 2, and then it gave us a new hand for game 2 that we lost with, so we ended up going 0-1 drop that time. And so if you want to count that one, you can. I don't think it's good to count that one because Magic Online bugged out. But whatever. I have O2 dropped on stream, just not with this deck. I'm also like when I'm counting, I haven't been saying this, but I was for a while counting like the first like couple leagues that had Whispers of Emrakul in the deck, which were pretty sus. My Kroxa over Dauthi. I want to go Dauthi plus Thoughtseize next turn, I think. I guess it's probably just better to Voidwalker instead. Yeah, that's probably a bit better. So now we can Thoughtseize their cookbook. Yeah, it's probably better to avoid Walker last turn. Do you have a decklist command? Yeah, it's exclamation point decklist. So I kind of hope that they cast Imri instead of Hold Up Rebuke. They probably Hold Up Rebuke instead. Imri's not that good against the Voidwalker. Can't block. Yeah, just not letting them get to use their rebuke here I think is kind of good, because then next turn, if we cast Tourach and they have to rebuke it, then they don't get to make a construct with Saga. When I grab Lurrus? Oh, I should have. How did I forget about Lurrus? Absolutely should have grabbed Lurrus there. Delirium's kind of nice. Maybe I should have actually cast this post-combat, though. I guess I can just crack post-combat, actually. Now I'm going to Tourach, and then if they Metallic Rebuke, they don't get to make their construct. Have I talked about the Dark Confidant version? I mean, I think it's better not to play Dark Confidant. I don't know. I don't really feel like that's a whole different version, you know? Just like one card choice, like Dark Confidant over Voidwalker or Tourach. And like I obviously like I'm aware that people are playing Bobs instead. I think it's better not to, and I don't really have too many strong feelings beyond that. Yeah, Bauble pumps, it does pump Darcy, but I think my goal here is maybe it was just better to try to kill them. But I was a little bit worried about taking too much damage from Asmo, so I just wanted to trade Darcy for Asmo here. That might not have been correct. We're drawing Lightning Bolt. We talked a lot about the White Splash for ending. I think that's fine. I think it's gonna be something you always want to consider. Right now, I feel like it's not correct to do. I think that the main reason to like play ending is to have answers to like Rest in Peace and Sanctifier, but it's also true that like your best answers to those cards are always going to be discard spells anyways, because those cards are still going to have an impact, and then like answering them for 2 mana is not a great exchange for you. But there are other white cards you can play too. I do want to block here, I think. I guess this was a good line, huh? Weird. They're also maybe just dead if we took the other line. I didn't even feel like that. I feel like that play wasn't even very good. Sideboarding has been kind of tough in this matchup because all your cards are pretty good. I've been, I think, doing something like this. 5 discard spells, 5 1-mana removal spells. And cut a Ragavan on the draw. Yeah, like you have answers to these cards, but it's also like I think it's very important with these decks to like concede that you are not going to be able to beat literally everything. I think it's very important to understand that, especially with Lurrus, you have 14 sideboard cards, you have weaknesses. You're gonna lose to like decks that main deck for Ariok Champion. You're gonna lose to Sanctifier, and just like playing some 1-for-1s for those cards in your sideboard aren't gonna just swing matchups a lot. If you play even sideboard cards for Enchantress, your matchup is still not great. It's okay to accept that you have some bad matchups, and that when you, just like any other deck, when you hit a bad matchup, you can hope to get a little lucky and, you know, maybe play well and win. But it's just not true that any deck is not going to have no bad matchups. And if your deck actually has no bad matchups, your deck is too good and needs to not have no bad matchups. Like Heat over Bolt because they have Im and Urs, but he doesn't answer like Asmo on turn 1 is the problem, so I've kind of like this split. But Im is not. I feel like I mean this also kills Imri, right? It's just Urza that Bolt doesn't hit. But Unholy Heat doesn't kill Asmo in like turns 1 or 2 that often, which is a big problem, I feel. The Chalice in the sideboard is for the Cascade decks, which are hard matchups without the Chalices and Void Mirrors. Scott, 20 months? That's a long ass time. Thanks, buddy. Welcome back. Against Mono Red Phoenix. Against Hela yesterday for 3-0. Definitely could not beat it. Yeah. I agree. It seems like a rough matchup. Good hand. Was Hogak bad against Wurza? I know that BBD thought that he had a good Hogak matchup with Urza at that one PT. But it you know, I feel like a lot of like feeling like you had a good matchup against Hogak was just copium, especially when you played against like the really good Hogak players. All of a sudden, like someone who's like was just ready for your hate was so much harder to beat. You know, you ever get the feeling like you're gonna draw the card you need? You ever just like feel like you're about to draw the best card and you don't really say it, but you're like, I feel like I'm about to draw Alpine Moon. ATVR, thank you for your Twitch Prime, appreciate you. Yeah, Heart of the Cards, baby, absolutely. Get Inquisition ourselves so we can cast Asmo. Probably better to go Alpine Moon Saga. I guess I could have Force to play around Inquisition to play around Force, but I've never seen these decks play Force. I've just been, I don't know. Alpine Moon is so good against Urza Saga. It just feels like you're just so ahead whenever you get to do this. Just utterly dismantled. But I still play the Madcap package and control mid-range sideboards? Good question. I don't know. I feel like it's maybe not great at the moment. I have to evaluate it a lot, but I feel like a lot of there's like a lot more Kolaghan's commands and those kind of cards running around. Am I gonna Shattering Spree just a cookbook? I don't know. They do have Daredevil, so they, you know, the longer we let this sit, the more value it's going to get. I think I'm okay with this. This also turns off, you know, top deck Asmos. Okay, so apparently the reason Saga dies when you play Alpine Moon, and I just graduated with a PhD in Sagas, is that when a Saga has no chapters, it goes to the graveyard, and then Alpine Moon removes all the chapters from the Saga. Their hand is Daredevil, 2 mystery cards, right? Darcy is a good draw, as it usually is. You ever just get to hit your opponent with Monkey 3 times in a row? Oh. That's a good one. That's insane. I just can't believe it. It's kind of like unreasonably lucky. Don't have too much to say. They're drawing Thought Monitor, which is not castable, right? Upkeep Surveil. So this is 8 damage. They packed it up. So we've had 2 4-1s and a 5-0 today with this deck, which is like the worst we've. Oh, full set! Oh, awesome. Cindercar Rising, which is not the best one, but that's really cool. I haven't opened one of those in a while. Second one I've ever opened on stream. Was not ready for this at all. Was not ready to open a full set.